The Ridley Report.
Madam President, will we be saying it next year? And could it end up being the least bad, plausible outcome in the presidential election? Well, if you're a liberty lover, you would probably think, no, it would be terrible to have Clinton in the White House. And, of course, it would be terrible. But my guess is it would be less terrible than having Obama or McCain. And here's why. History. Look at the history. Clinton has been in the White House before, in a sense, and we know what kinds of things did and did not happen. And as evil as she is, a lot of good things happened, a lot of bad things didn't. So when I opened up my browser today, March 20th, 2008, and I saw this report, a Gallup poll indicating Clinton has pulled ahead in the presidential race, I was actually happy. Stick with me, I'm going somewhere with this. To give you the exact numbers, I guess the Gallup poll gave Clinton 49% to 42% edge over Obama among Democratic-leaning voters. It also showed that Clinton had a better chance it indicated that Clinton had a better chance of beating McCain than Obama has. Clinton is neck and neck with McCain in the poll, and Obama is showing as getting beaten by McCain 47 to 43%. This poll was taken March 14th through the 18th and was just published today on Reuters, March 20th. By the way, this is the Ridley Report. I don't know if I mentioned that. It's ridleyreport.com, and it's Dave Ridley here reporting. Anyway, back to why I'm happy, cautiously happy. When the Clintons were in the White House before, they were hated deeply by such a large number of Americans, and many of them Republicans, that they were not able to actually get that much done. The Americans voted, the people voted Republicans into the White House, into the both houses of Congress pretty quickly, within 2 years of Clinton becoming president, and they were able to successfully, I don't know if this is what they were trying to do, but they gridlocked the government. There was a 6-year period, really, from 1994 all the way up until 2000, where the government wasn't able to get that much done. The federal government grew at a rate of 1% per year during Clinton's reign. Now, of course, it's grown, I think, 4 or 5% under Bush's reign. And that is because, again, in my theory, the Clintons are so hated by normal anti-government people in the United States, the traditional distrustful of government type people who tend to be Republicans. They are so hated by those people that they create these huge movements that sort of stop the government in its track. Again, that's what happened when the Clintons were in last. I don't see any reason to believe that it won't happen again. Now, we could have 2 years where there's a Democratic majority all the way through, and they might get some bad things done during that 2-year period. But hopefully, if history repeats itself, we'd end up with a gridlocked government without too much delay. And Clinton, of course, Hillary, is much more hated than her husband is. So if she's the one with the mouthpiece, she's the one always on the news, even more than she was in the 90s, this should double the gridlocking effect that we enjoyed when the Clintons were in the White House last.
Hillary! 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 Hillary!
Of course, now we have the Ron Paul movement to be part of that gridlocking process. It's not just about typical old-school Republicans versus Democrats. Now we've got the Ron Paul revolution thrown into the mix. And if you think they're not going to be active after the 2008 election, you're not in touch with reality. These folks are fanatical, they are capable, and they are well organized. They'll be a big part of stopping what the next government attempts to do. And I'd rather have my tyranny pure. I'd rather see a leader, a figurehead of the government that at least looks and acts and talks evil, so that people aren't getting their tyranny sold to them with an Obama-style smile. So, I think it's a good thing for liberty that Clinton's doing better, as long as it's her that ends up in the White House and not one of these other guys. I think we'll do better off, less bad, for the reasons I've stated, which are, I realize Counterintuitive. We'll see what happens. Madam President, maybe so, maybe no.
Do you have a message for the Ron Paul movement? Do you have a product for the New Hampshire Liberty community? Then stop keeping it a secret. Head on over to
ridleyreport.com. Email Ridley
and purchase an ad. There is no humiliation nor privation Ridley will not endure to ensure your message gets out. ridleyreport.com